Hi everyone, it's Phil here from Ashland Leather, and take a look at this incredible pile of leather goods that we're shipping out today. And this is a selection of some of the items that you picked up. Let's give you a preview of what's in the video. I have a raw shell cordovan fat Herbie, an English tan Dublin fat Herbie, a custom Color 8 marbled shell cordovan fat Herbie, a Bugs Moran in cobalt blue Dublin, a Bugs Moran in intense blue shell cordovan, a Bugs Moran in garnet shell cordovan with an amaretto interior, a Tony the Ant in custom Color 8 whiskey and amaretto shell cordovan, a Tony the Ant in cobalt blue Dublin, a Johnny the Fox in natural chrome mixel with two different interior options, one in mock horsehide and one in black horsehide, a Johnny the Fox in black Dublin with a teal interior, and now back in stock a 100% Color 8 shell cordovan Johnny the Fox. We have a one-shot card holder in black Dublin, a Frank the Enforcer in intense blue shell cordovan, and a Frank the Enforcer in amaretto shell cordovan. All right, up first here is a one-shot card case, and this one is in the black Dublin leather. Last week we did some limited colors and different leathers in this one-shot card case, and everybody that supported us by picking up one of those, thank you guys so much, and I can't wait for you to have them. There's some really incredible special leathers in there that I'd been collecting for years, so I'm really glad to be able to finally share those with you. This black Dublin is very nice. I don't think these were available on there. This one was a custom request, so if you're looking for any leather that I currently have, or maybe something that you'd like to see, let me know, and I might be able to make you up one of these one-shots in any leather that you've been interested in trying. All right, here's a really beautiful intense blue shell cordovan Frank the Enforcer. Check out that aqua blue in that color. That is really nice, and I like the intense blue because it sort of has this color shift to it. Depending on what angle you look at this leather, it changes colors from almost like a navy on the surface to more of like a greenish aqua blue underneath, and I think the combination is really cool. Here's another Frank the Enforcer, and you might notice this one does not have our logo on the front. I actually think that looks pretty cool. This was done by special request in my favorite shell cordovan color. That amaretto shell, again, has that really nice color shift, sort of a vibrant orangey tan, and then depending on what angle you look at it, it gets a little bit more vibrant, a little lighter, a little darker. Some angles is a little bit more red. And I have three Bugs Moran to show you today. We're starting with the small wallets and getting a little bit bigger from there, but let me first show you this cobalt blue Dublin Bugs Moran. This was a special request. Somebody was looking for this Bugs Moran, but also a Tony the Ant. So we'll do a little comparison of those two wallets. The Dublin leather itself is a beautiful, naturally finished and aniline leather. So you get to see all the natural grain character that you might be able to see rather easily on the exterior and on the interior of this one. All those little bits of striations and little bits of character, I think, are what make the Dublin special. And the cobalt blue Dublin reminds me a little bit of that intense blue shell cordovan that we saw a minute ago. This like nice aqua blue undertones with a little bit more of like a navy on the surface. And here's another blue piece, and this is the intense blue shell cordovan. Check out the outside of this one. Really great piece of shell there. And this is what we look for in the shell cordovan. A little bit of that bright, shiny luster, very much a mirror-like finish. Super smooth and a really great smooth feel. And this intense blue shell has that same sort of color shift. So depending on what angle you look at it, the color gets a little lighter or a little darker. And again, it's the combination of these colors and the natural finish in there that makes the shell cordovan extra special. And here's the last Bugs Moran to show you today. This one has a special color combination. It's been personalized for LHL. So thank you so much, LHL. On the outside, we have a really incredible piece of garnet shell cordovan, and the garnet is about as red of a color that Horween makes on the shell cordovan. In fact, it is the most red color. But what's fun about the garnet is it has that same sort of color shift that I talk about a lot, where some angles it's a little bit more of like a medium brown, and other angles it's much more red, much more cherry in color. Take a look at the inside here. This is my favorite shell color on the interior, that amaretto shell cordovan. Again, with that really nice color shift. Some angles is a little lighter, some angles is a little darker, a little bit more red, a little bit more brown. And the wallets are getting a little bit larger and larger as we go here. This is a special Tony the Ant that's been custom ordered with a whiskey shell cordovan on top of amaretto on the back. That is a really great look. I think that turned out nicely. Take a look at the inside as well. Color 8 shell cordovan on the right with Color 8 reverse on the left. And I like this combination very much. And let me explain why. I like the way that the reverse shell cordovan wears in on the interior of the wallets, because when it's shell on shell and the wallet closes and rubs together in your pocket, those scuffs that are shell on shell are a little bit harder to reduce, as opposed to when you have a reverse piece on top of the shell. I find these to be much easier to fill in and polish once it's worn in. And one more Tony the Ant to show you today. Check out this beautiful piece of cobalt blue Dublin. This one, because of those striations and the color, it's like waves on the ocean or something. That is really great looking. Take a look at the inside as well. More cobalt blue Dublin. And the blue Dublin is very, very nice. Let me show you the Bugs Moran and the difference between these two wallet styles. So the Tony the Ant, obviously because of this bill slot on the back, gives it a little bit more function, but also a little bit added thickness. And because we have that bill slot in the back, we had to design this pattern to be just a little bit wider. So if you notice on the inside, just this center piece on the Tony the Ant, it's a little bit wider, and we did that to more easily accommodate the bills that would go into the back of this wallet. And on the Bugs Moran, we shrunk it down a little bit because I find the form factor of this Bugs Moran to be absolutely perfect for a front pocket wallet. It just fits perfectly in your hand. All right, we're moving on to the Johnny the Fox. Getting a little bit bigger in the wallets here, and this is our most popular style. I think that's because the Johnny the Fox is the most relatable wallet. It's the most traditional style that we have. And most men, when they think of a wallet, envision something like this, with a bill slot in the back and then 6 card slots on the inside. We've actually included some additional hidden card slots underneath each of those 3 stacks to give you a lot more room to carry stuff. But I wanted to show you 3 horsehide interior options, and in fact I have a 4th here. This is the shell cordovan that we'll get to as well. The top 2 here we currently have on sale for a nice discount in the natural chrome excel. So there's 2 different options of interiors. So both of these have that beautiful buttery smooth and rich chrome excel on the outside in the natural color, and that's the most popular chrome excel color in the world right now. You can find this all over the place in different footwear, different small leather goods like these Johnny the Foxes. And then we have 2 different interior options. These are custom horse hides that are made just for us by Horween. We needed extra thin and strong leather for the inside of this wallet because there's so many different layers of leather. If we were to use the regular leather that we use on the outside, on the inside of these, the wallet would just be way too thick. So we have it actually in 3 different colors of horsehide on the table here. The black on the top and the mock horsehide here. These 2 colors in the natural chrome excel are currently on sale. So if you're trying to pick up some chrome excel, figure out what that chrome excel leather is all about, this is a good time to do that. It's just an incredible leather, and the way that these wear in are second to none. And here we have the teal horsehide latigo. That's the other color of horsehide that we have custom made for us by Horween. On the outside here, this is a black Dublin leather, and we talked about Dublin for a moment earlier with that great natural character. This one has all sorts of interesting grain texture going on the outside. And the way the Dublin also wears in is very nice because it's a veg tan leather. It tends to get a little bit brighter and shinier. And in other colors, even on the black, the color just gets a little bit deeper the more you wear it. I love the combination of the black on the outside with the teal on the inside. I think these 2 colors go very nicely together. And now back in stock, this is one of our most popular items, if not the most popular. This is the Johnny the Fox in 100% color 8 shell cordovan. It's incredibly difficult for us to get the naturally thin pieces of shell that are required for the inside of this wallet. And that's why we're only able to make a handful of these each year. There's been a bit of a wait list for these, and everybody that's been on the wait list, I believe, is getting shipped either today or tomorrow. I can't wait for you guys to have these. We put them back up as in stock on our website. So the 100% color 8 shell cordovan, incredibly cool to see. And every time we get a thin piece of shell, it's just a special treat for me to be able to cut them into a Johnny the Fox like this. All right, I have 3 different fat Herbies to show you today, and all 3 of these are really, really cool. So on the top here, look at this beautiful marbled piece. This is one of those pieces of shell. In fact, just before I started filming, I was just staring at this remarkable piece of color 8 marbled. And all the different colors that have come out in the marbling process here are just incredibly beautiful. I love the random look of this texture and color on the color 8 marbled shell. Super cool. It sort of ranges from a lighter golden tan to a little bit of red, a little bit more of that classic color 8 burgundy shade over here on the right. Let's take a look at the inside of this custom Fat Herbie. This one has additional custom card slots on the interior. So this has the reverse card slots that I was talking about a moment ago. I love how the reverse wears in when it rubs against itself. I find it a little bit easier to polish in. And these two additional pieces here, these are what we call hidden slots, and we do those for an upcharge. So if you're interested in getting a little bit of a larger storage space underneath your card slots, these are a good way to do that. There's a slight upcharge to have the hidden slots put in. And here's what I believe to be the best Dublin color. I really like the English tan Dublin. And again, the Dublin has that great natural character to it, but for some reason the English tan always speaks to me. I think it's because the color on the English tan reminds me of my favorite shell color, the amaretto shell. That more of like a vibrant orangey tan, especially on the pull-up, like at the spine of this wallet. When this leather is flexed, we mobilize the waxes to reveal a little bit more of the lighter orangey undertones in the Dublin. So the combination of naturally finished, great grain character, and a very vibrant, nice color, a deep color as well. That's what I like about the English tan Dublin. Take a look at the inside too. More of that great natural character. Should point out, we actually fill in the unintended flesh side of all of our leathers with a little bit of a resin coat. And that fills in these fibers here, like you can see in the center, to make the cards a little bit more held in place. And in fact, this wears in a little bit better than just a sueded flesh side of the Dublin. All right, the last one to show you today. This is what we call the epic grain on the shell. And it's a little bit of a misnomer because technically there is no grain to the shell, but what we see here is something that is grain-like. All this bit of texture that appears on the shell, in fact, feels smooth, but visually it looks a bit more textured. And I think that is really interesting. Take a look at the inside. This is a raw shell cordovan interior. You can see it's a little bit lighter. We do have a bit of that epic grain, but this is a really special Fat Herbie. I can't wait to see how this guy wears in. The raw shell was a dream of mine for a bunch of years, almost 10 years. And it was just an idea to have some leather that would develop the most patina possible. So that's how we came up with the raw shell, and it's finally here. It's almost been a year now that the raw shell has been coming into our little Ashland workshop. So this is a special Fat Herbie, another custom special request here, which we're happy to do. So let me see, what was the stunner of the day? I gotta go with this Color 8 marbled. There's something just magical about this specific piece of Color 8 marbled shell cordovan. So let me know what your stunner was. I'm really curious. I always like to hear what you guys think about these wallets. And until next time, I hope you have a good one.